So yeah, as you get there, what would your questions be?
Where is it here?
So you would, again, knowing the kind of plant, you would know that it grows in within the rainforest area. It's actually in a the whole area is part of a greenhouse towards the back. So you make your way
Mm.
there. Um, as you pass, you notice a variety of workers. They all seem quite small. At first, you think they might be children, but after looking, they do appear to just be short in stature. They all wear kind of overalls, men and women, a variety of gardening tools, and they all seem to just be working away. You make your way into the gardens, and in here, in the greenhouse, there's a few palm trees that seem to be growing. A
Hmm.
variety of large flowers. There's one that looks like a Venus flytrap that's there. There's a corpse flower that you have to kind of close your nose as you walk by, as it's particularly ripe. But eventually you come across uh, the Lycani lily, as it's called, and you notice that there are three stems, but only two of the stems still have a flower on it. On the front, there's a little plaque that has a bit of writing. It appears to be in Oriental kind of style characters. Um, yeah, and there's a few people that go by, but you can tell that this seems to be where it came from, specifically that stem.
All right. All right. Um, can I talk to it and ask how it came to be here?
Okay, yeah, we can say we spent another clue. They talk about traveling from where they were, a place of sun and beach, warmth. Um, there would be travelers that pass by, and they were stolen, cut up from their roots, put inside a box, and transported a long ways. They remember the rocking back and forth of what you would assume to be a boat, the traveling on the back of a cart for many miles. They talk about distant places that don't feel familiar for you. Anything outside of the city seems vague and strange, but they do seem to have come from outside of the city.
All right. Um. hmm. Would they know of their use or their?
Yeah, yeah. Based
Okay.
off the conversation you had before, um, they understand that it's not just for cleansing water, that they do have a bit of a medicine quality to them, ground up. They're able to provide a bit of pain relief. Um,
Okay. So they're kind of aware of
yeah, they do seem to
their.
be aware of their existence and purpose.
Okay. Hmm.
They do also mention though that their family is small. There were few that still stayed at home, and now that one is missing, their family yet grows smaller.
Um. Cool. Don't have any questions for a plant I'm conversating with. Can I open the floor, like, if anyone else has any questions?
Yeah, I mean, does anybody have questions about the botanical gardens as she's kind of investigating it before you all actually go
Um,
there?
if they know of anyone in particular who seems less than mundane, or more than mundane, is a better way of putting it.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And basically anyone who they can talk to besides me and Mike, I guess.
They respond. The workers sense us. They do not speak, but they know when we are hurt. They know when we are well. The seekers can find us when we are far away. They seem to be referencing the statues throughout the gardens. The owners are distant and unseen, unknown. But the garden is full of those that have special qualities.
And who are the owners again? Do we?
So it's general knowledge that the Wong family has owned the gardens for a very, very, very long time, but no one has seen a member of the Wong family for a very, very long time.
Okay. Alright. Does anyone else have any inquiry for this area?
I think that was all 3 of the
Okay.
questions.
Okay. Alright.
So yeah, as you're hanging out and kind of checking out the gardens, I am going to follow up real quick with Mike and see how Mike has been doing. So Mike, you drank some nasty water, but then you drank some clean water and your tummy aches went away, and you stabbed a plant into a dark mass in the water, and a statue hurt your donkey, and you've been banished from one of the places that you're supposed to work. So how's it going, Mike? What's going on in your world these days?
Not a whole lot. I haven't been home pretty much since we got back. I've just been tending to my donkey.
So the vet came. Didn't have great news, didn't have horrible news. Basically said it will survive, but they're not sure if it's going to have the strength to be able to bring the cart. And of course, being 19th century doctor is not quite sure why you would want to keep the donkey around, but has been able to stabilize it. Has the hind legs kind of bandaged up and steady. Was able to right, the bones, put them back in place. Doesn't have a lot of hope that it might be able to have the strength, but it'll take some time, and you might be able to spend some time working on it. At some point, Lisa calls you into her office, and she wants you to explain what the hell's been going on. You've been arrested twice. You have cops showing up at work. There's a strange boy that you brought here, and now your donkey is attacked and your cart's broken. What is going on in your world, Mike?
Just a unfortunate set of coincidences.
You know Lisa. Lisa knows how to smell bullshit. She lives in a bullshit factory. I mean, she gives you that look like, Mike, come on, you've been working for me longer than that. Are you in trouble? Is there something I need to know?
No, I'm not in trouble.
Who are these strangers that keep showing up at the pit?
What, the constables? They're not really strangers.
No, these people that are coming here. That woman yesterday with the cart and the fabric. The other gentleman with the long hair that arrived on horse a couple days ago. Who are these people?
Just people that were passing through. They came and asked you questions, they came and asked me questions, and then they left, and some stuff still happened in between. Like the donkey and
And who's this boy? Who's Nigel? Why did you bring him to me?
Same reason I bring all the kids that I bring in. They're typically about to get murdered or beaten the crap out of by somebody, and so I offer them a chance at a better life.
So there's nothing else going on that you want me to know about?
Oh, I can't go as far as don't remember the lady's name. But basically I'm not allowed to go pick up trash there anymore.
In the West Slums?
Yeah.
Good. We weren't paying you for that anyways, so did you forget about all that already, Mike?
I didn't forget about it.
You don't need to be going there. Don't worry about it. They have their own deal going on now. You focus on the East Slums. You keep them clean. You keep them happy. Hell, you want to pick up a few more routes in the East Slum? That's fine. I bet you talk to Jack in the Old Boroughs. You can even help him out a bit.
Okay.
Look, Young is gonna be out for a little bit, so if you want to use his donkey and cart and get yourself back out there, that's fine. But look, Mike, I can't have any more shit being brought here for now. You know, you're a good worker. That's why I keep you around. But even the good workers, they have their limits. So just keep your nose clean, all right? And take a damn bath sometime, will ya?
Okay.
So beyond caring for the donkey, what is Mike spending his downtime doing?
Pretty sure it's just gonna have to be work.
Okay. So giving attention to your logos.
Yeah.
So yeah, in the past it would be Monday, Wednesday, West Slums, Tuesday, Thursday, East Slums. What did you ever do on Friday? What was your route on Friday?
A lot of people like take time off, so it was kind of just whoever wanted off.
Just cover someone.
Yeah, typically.
So yeah, now that you have Monday and Wednesday free, do you plan on just doing the East Slums 4 days a week, or kind of?
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely focus on getting them really clean and doing a lot more flower planting.
Yeah, spending some time with your parks.
Yeah.
Perfect. So yeah, go ahead and mark attention to your company man logos. On the end of Friday, I think that's kind of about where we all are, kind of towards the end of Friday. You notice that the flag is up on the mailbox as you return back to the pit.
I guess I can get it, since nobody else could.
So you open it. It's a letter from the order, as they always are. Stamped with the wax red stamp on the back. Faded, kind of tan letter envelope.
Take it back to the warehouse and pop her open.
See Frederick's back there, organizing some notes. You see him actually placing, it looks like the badges for Eric and Georgie kind of on the table. He looks up to you. Oh, wasn't expecting you, senor. don't mind me. I'm just getting a few things ready for the new crew when they return. You open it up. It starts off, congratulations, Reaper soldiers. You have succeeded in cleansing the water of the West Slums. Feel good about that. However, the report mentioned something of a dark creature. We wish to know more. We've been hearing reports of strange things on the edge of town, people going missing. We want you to investigate into who this person was, what this person was, and report back on anything you find about them. We do advise to bring any and all crew that are willing and able to assist with this, as we will be keeping a close eye on how this crew coagulates. We've been losing too many members as of late. We don't wish to lose any more.
Guess it's that, What time is it?
It's still mid-afternoon, about the time that William would be at a library and Georgie would be at the garden, so after you're done with your shift.
Yeah, might as well head out and get some stuff done.
Blanche, on the end of towards the end of Friday, as you're visiting the library after having a few meetings, planning to get the cooks and everything ready for the party on Sunday, you are in the process of just moving some books around, and you find one of the letters falling out of it. It does direct you to meet with the crew on Saturday, as a new case is available to discuss. Eric, same thing for you, but this time you don't find a letter within your journal, and it is actually resting within a pile of letters that are at the warehouse. You for a moment seem to panic, unsure if Martin might have seen it, so you quickly grab it along with the bills and the variety of other notices you've received there. Same thing, it does direct you to meet at the crew on Saturday. However, for the other two, you're kind of in the midst of other things. So yes, William, you're at the library. The door seems to be secured, and you hear what appears to be a small child inside.
Do they sound like they're in danger?
You just hear breathing. You don't hear panicked breathing, just breathing, steady breathing, moving some things around, kind of shifting some things.
Well, I guess I need in the library, so try to get in the library, I guess.
Okay.
Either through the door or a window or something.
So you're well fed. It doesn't take you long to bust inside. It's dark. All the lanterns that were in here have been doused. The curtains have all been pulled on the windows. It's just dark.
I'll open a curtain.
You look over the shelves of books and you notice that there's 3 or 4 that have been moved together in what appears to be some kind of square. And these are like the half shelves that maybe stand about 4 or 5 feet up. But they've been moved in kind of a U shape in the corner. It looks like one of the curtains is pulled up and over the top of this square shape.
Well, sure. Let's take a look. Nothing bad could ever happen, you know. Sure. Let's look at this. Investigate this here bookcase. And the books, I guess.
So as you go and you look past the bookcase, you see a shadow of someone. And then it looks like a broom, but the stick of a broom juts out in your direction.
I'm gonna dodge it.
As you move back out of the way, the figure comes out, maybe about 11 or so years old. Takes you a moment, but you recognize him. It's a kid you had in your class about 2 years ago, but you haven't seen him in school. His name's Aaron Barak. But he doesn't look like a normal kid. He's not wearing his suit. He's wearing what appears to be a sort of a long trench coat. Looks like a raincoat that he might have gotten from a closet. On his hat, he has a bowl or a pan that he got from the kitchen, almost like a helmet. And he's holding this broomstick like it's a rifle, and he comes out and he points it at you, and he just looks at you, holding this broomstick, just staring at you.
You could hurt somebody with that. What do you think you're doing? I know you. Aaron, what are you doing here, boy? Trying to stab people with broomsticks.
You see him like reach down to his side and pull up in his hand. It looks like he's holding a globe. He places the broom on his shoulder, and it kind of stands an extra foot over him. You see him pull. It looks like a pin from an imaginary grenade, and he throws it at you. His eyes kind of go wide. He immediately grabs his broomstick back up, just staring, waiting for something to happen.
I'm gonna slowly walk towards him.
He backs away and like tries to take cover behind one of the bookcase, just again staring at you, pointing the broom.
Alright, give me the broom, boy. Come on. It's time to go home. Don't need to be playing armament in the library.
So you go to grab the broom.
Yeah, I'll go to take the broom from him.
Okay, I'm gonna have you go toe to toe.
Oh yes, because I'm going to fight a boy. Here we go. Use some super speed. It's gonna be easily predictable, so I'm gonna use predictive foes next move and history teacher because I used to be his teacher.
Okay.
Yeah. Go toe to toe. Hey.
All right. You grab the broom from him. What are the two options you're going to select?
I'm gonna block, dodge, or counter his best attempts, and I guess I'll take the broomstick from him. I don't need to inflict a status on this kid, I don't think.
So as soon as you pull it away from him, he immediately puts his hands up, his eyes go wide, like he's surrendering.
Okay, I'll put him in some imaginary handcuffs.
He leans his head down, and you have a moment to kind of look around. It looks like he may have been living here for maybe a day or so. Not too long. Certainly, it seems he might have snuck in since the last time you were here. You see a bit of food that he's gathered from the kitchen stacked up. There's a couple books in the corner. But he puts his hands behind his back and kind of walks to the wall and places his head. You hear a metal kind of clang as his helmet hits against the wall, and he just kind of stands there staring down at his feet.
I'm gonna take him to the principal's office.
Okay. You begin to walk through, and he just follows, not speaking, just staring down at his foot, kind of one footfall in front of another. You get to the principal's office. It's locked. Because of course it would be.
Because the principal's not here, I'm gonna knock on the door.
Nope, it's summer break.
Well, there should be somebody here.
Doesn't seem
Alright.
there's anyone here except for you two.
Fine, I'll take him outside and see if I can find the police officer. Yeah, that's the next best thing.
Okay.
I don't know where this kid's living.
Yeah, I mean, you're able to find a constable pretty quickly. Standing at the corner, kind of directing the carts of a fairly busy street, kind of overwatching that.
Yeah, I'll take him up to the police officer and say, "Officer, I found this child living in the school library, and without access to the principal's office, I do not know where he lives. Is there any way you can contact somebody or hold him somewhere this way he's not running away?"
What's your name, boy? Like, leans down. Child, what is your name? Kind of looks back to you. Do you know who this is?
His name's Aaron Brock. He was in my class a couple years ago, but I haven't seen him
He
since then.
goes and like reaches to take the pan off of him and kind of hands it to you. Lifts him up by the chin, kind of looks him in the eyes. Aaron, what are you doing? Aaron just kind of looks at him and stares.
I'm not quite. I think he might need a doctor. I think he's been living in the library, it appears. So
All right. Yeah, we'll have him checked out. He pulls out his whistle and calls out, "I'll have someone transport him to Kingswood, see if we might be able to find his parents." You don't recall his parents from when he was in your class?
I never saw much of them. He was never much of trouble. He was a good kid. Bit
All right.
quiet, but
We'll see what we can find. After a couple minutes, you see another constable come up and kind of goes over the situation. He picks the kid up. You know, even though the kid's fairly tall, you see him pick him up and kind of just start carrying him down the street towards the Kingswood station. Head back to the library. Start kind of organizing, pushing the shelves back into place and putting the curtain back and kind of cleaning up his mess a little bit. And as you begin to stack books, you notice a pile of papers. And at first it just seems like random sketches. But you start going through them and you start to recognize their drawings. Not well done and definitely in scratches more than actual lines or anything like that. But it makes you remember something. So you run back to your classroom and you go to the desk of the new kid, Jathar Jasarian. You look at the corner. You have one of the papers. It's the same strange, tall, dark person standing amongst trees. They don't look exactly the same, but you definitely see similarities between the two pictures.
I don't like that.
So as you do with that... Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna make a little sketch of it in the notebook I've decided to start carrying.
I mean, you could probably bring one of the papers with you.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna place the other paper in the notebook next to it.
Okay.
But...
So back at the gardens, where Georgie is, as you prepare to leave for one of the days, one of the workers comes up to you and tugs kind of on your dress. Again, they stand maybe 3.5, 4 feet tall. They come over and they kind of tug on your dress.
A little down, kind of waiting for why. Like, yes.
They reach up and they hand you a folded piece of paper.
Alright, I take it.
As you open it, it appears to be a note, quickly written out in ink. If you were alone and you were here for words, then join me in the observatory so that we can clear this mess.
Alright. I guess I'll head to the observatory and see what this is about.
Okay. Just putting it out there, by any chance, would Blanche or Eric have any reason to think to go to the gardens around this time? Just want to at least give you the opportunity to be there.
I mean...
No, you go.
I mean, this is Friday, right?
Yeah, so this would be Friday evening. You would have both just received the letter to go and meet back at the pit for a new case, but...
I think, given our group's history on bungling things, Blanche would probably have tried to go before anybody else anyway.
Okay.
Obviously didn't succeed because Georgie beat her there, but she's learned not to allow William and Mike to be the first people to talk to somebody. And she doesn't know about Georgie or Eric yet. So as soon as she found out that there's like another thing and we'd actually have to get together as a group again, she'd probably be like, I should go take care of this before anybody else tries to.
Somewhere on the other side of the city, William just sneezes.
That's that hay fever.
Oh, all that in the air. Oh, Lord.
And what
Not
about
to
you,
mention, she
Eric?
might get some ideas for the layout for the party. So
Yeah.
Since Eric was going to have to be heading back to the pit anyways, he would stop off at the garden first, trying also to sort of do it by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Since the way he sees it, he's the one who really, did the damage here.
So as we look up from the note from Georgie's perspective, she looks to the crowd at the front that's beginning to come in, and you see the face of Blanche, and right behind her you see the face of Eric. Neither one seems to notice each other, but you certainly notice both of them.
Alright. How close are they? Like, can I talk to them without yelling across the way? Or are they a bit way off?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably about 15 feet from where you are, kind of down in the gardens, to the entry area that they are. You might be able to, like, wave your hands around and draw their attention.
Okay, I'll do that. Like, it's weak, but my hand's in the air.
So,
like, oh, fancy seeing you here.
Yeah, you both think that she's waving just to you until you both try to rush to her and end up bumping into each other down the stairs.
Well, this is awkward.
I saw that whole thing happen.
well, Blanche would be using her new face,
Okay.
So she's mostly just confused as to why Georgie is waving at her.
Oh, so I guess
Okay.
she would just be waving at Eric in that case. Because yeah, no one would actually know that you're there if you don't look like the industrial
but
woman.
if I end up running into currently she looks like a early 20s because everybody seemed to treat her like she was old before. So I'm going to call out age specifically this time. Early 20s, like 21, 22.
She's got a facelift.
She does not look quite as prone to being in like a workhouse as she used to. She's a little bit better dressed, but still very middle class. Yeah, just kind of wearing almost like what I guess would be for middle class, kind of wearing like a middle class Sunday best.
Okay.
So like her bum around the house clothes, but Sunday best for somebody several ranks down on the pecking order.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she dressed like she's just going out to enjoy herself, but.
So yeah, just as you're kind of getting towards the end of the line to pay and get in, Eric kind of rushes past you, just throws a coin and bumps into your shoulder heading towards Georgie, who you would assume was waving at you, but appears was actually waving at him.
Oh,
Excuse
me, miss.
you.
Sorry, miss. Sorry.
And
He just keeps on going, I suppose.
She'll see him, but she can't like react because there's people, so she will pay and then do her best to catch up.
Okay. How do you like introduce yourself to them to have them understand that it's you?
I had a really funny thought, but I won't. I will kind of walk over and come up kind of behind Eric and like slide my hand to the inside of his elbow.
Okay.
Ma'am?
It's like, oh.
Stolen any more flowers lately?
I see. No, actually.
Do you see? Really?
And meanwhile, Georgie's like, what the fuck? Because I don't think she's witnessed or.
Well, no, neither has Eric.
knows.
That's the funny part.
Oh,
I actually
Just
did.
Picked up. You did. You saw her change her face.
I saw her change Mike's face.
Oh, that's fair. She did make Mike look different. We met the other day at the pit. I was the only other female in attendance.
Oh, you were old then.
I really wasn't.
All right.
Perhaps I put too much wear and tear on that particular face.
Georgie's thinking about
later.
Getting some of that water down at the place we just cleaned up. Like, oh, that's how to maintain that youth.
No, the water has nothing to do with it.
Right. Okay.
You're not the only one with your gifts, Flower Whisperer.
Fair enough. Honestly, I didn't expect either of you two here, but since...
Nor I you.
Well...
here we are.
Yes, that is the truth. And here's what I was literally just given right before you guys came. Wow, so many coincidences. I'll show them the note that I was just given.
Okay.
It's like you guys want to come along?
I mean,
Well,
the
yes,
letter.
obviously.
I mean, yes, but the letter says if you're alone, doesn't it?
Right. Well, it doesn't mean you can't accompany up until then.
Sure. Just they might be skittish.
Well, I don't know if they'd recognize her newfound face.
Oh, trust me, I can make them remember. She'll
Alright.
just smile.
So towards the back of the gardens, there's a little hill that kind of rises up, and on it stands, looks like a round building with a dome kind of top. Looking at one of the maps, if you happen to purchase them, you would know that this is an observatory for people to come and kind of get out of the sun for a bit and be able to have a higher view of the gardens.
Okay.
Oh, this is nice.
Quite. Is there... Is it like kind of like free admission, so to speak? Like you could just go in and out, or
So once
is there...
you paid to get into the gardens, yeah, you
Yeah.
head back there. You notice that there's a few people that kind of enter in. You step in, and the glass is a bit darker, and you can actually see that because of the shade of glass, the colors are different. They seem to be more highlighted, more detailed. But you do notice that there's a few doors back behind you. One of them might be a washroom, something like that. But after some time, you see one of the doors open, and a man, probably about 30 years old, walks up. He's wearing a white shirt. His sleeves are rolled up pretty high. You see he has kind of a thin, dark goatee that kind of hangs from his chin. Kind of has an oriental complexion. Comes up and taps Georgie on the shoulder. You are the one from the tunnel, yes. The one that spoke to the plant. And you are the thief, points towards Eric.
That's correct.
Good. Alright, you two, come with me. Begins to usher you towards the back room.
Alright. Guess I'll
Shrug.
just follow.
As you look into the back room, it's a small office. The walls are hung up with a variety of dried plants that have been kind of pressed behind glass and hung up all over. There's some butterflies over one. Hanging up on a few shelves back behind the wall, there's a few look like dragon kind of carvings. There's it looks like some kind of like musical piece, stringed music instrument up there, and a few paintings that show kind of Japanese kind of cherry blossoms and that kind of stuff. There's a few seats and kind of waits for you all to come in the door before he closes the door. Blanche, you see this happening. Do you try to make any move to...
Oh yes, I'm following rather quickly.
He notices you coming and he turns. I'm sorry, if you're looking for the restroom...
I was walking arm in arm with Eric, so...
It's true.
Okay. So he would kind of stop. Yes, sir, if you wish for your partner, she can wait outside. This will just be a discussion for us.
Oh, I think it's a discussion you would want me to be present for. Plus, I'm curious how you make your little pets move the way they do, even if they are easy to turn off.
And looks to you. The sorcerer. All right, you as well. Waits for you all to enter and kind of closes the door and walks over to his desk. He sits down in his chair and throws his feet up on the desk and leans back. Well, you came quicker than I expected you to come. I guess that shows that you're willing to right your wrong. That is good. Seems everything turned out well for you. Did it not? West slums and all that?
Well enough.
That's good.
As well as could be hoped for.
Well, listen, let me get right into it. You see, well, what you've stolen costs my family a great deal of heartache and hardships to get, and, well, we take great pride over the wide variety that we can offer here at the gardens. Things seen here that can't be seen anywhere else in the city. And we do not take kindly to those coming and taking, whether a petal, a seed, a bit of dirt, whatever those grubby hands tend to take lightly. You all seem to have skills. Skills that can be quite useful for us. So, are you willing to repay your debt?
It would depend on what you're asking of us.
I'm certainly willing to discuss terms.
Well, you see, there's some seeds that we've been trying to get to for a very long time now. But we just haven't had the right people to get them. And, well, let me tell you, you must be the right people. There's a house far up in the hills, in the large homes, the mansions. It's up there amongst the fog and the breeze, and, well, they stole from us a long time ago. A long time ago. My great-grandfather was just starting to open this place, and, well, he only had access to what was around, and, well, this family, they sought to take advantage of our family, and they did. Offered him money and took his prized possession, the heart seeds from our home. We have sent family members, and we have sent investigators, and we have even tried to send members of the police, but none have been able to return with the seeds. Few have even returned at all. I believe these seeds would make this garden so much more than it is today. And with the darkness it seems to be growing, I think a bit of light could be quite useful. So would you be willing to go and help right a family wrong, to retrieve something else that's been stolen from us?
I would certainly consider it if you tell me what it is that I'm looking for.
I can show you. He goes to the back, and there's a painting up there. It appears to be, an oil painting of sorts, and it shows a man standing at a large green hill. There's a few trees, but very little else. And before him are 3 fairly large green orbs that he has resting kind of around him. He has his arm around these large green orbs, and he's just smiling up at whoever is painting this. These seeds, they hold the heart of our land. And with it, the heart of my great-grandfather, and the wishes, the hopes that he held for these gardens. No matter how great they are now, they will never be his full desire, his full wish, until we have planted those seeds within our dirt.
You wish us to steal these, is the person who has them, are they capable of anything in particular we should know about, except that no one ever manages to bring them back?
Steal them? No, recover. Recover stolen item. The family? Yes. Family's capable of much, spending money and, well, apparently making seeds disappear. Beyond that, those that return don't have much to tell. I have the location. I'm not sure if
What
there's much
do
more
they
I can
tell?
give you.
I mean, surely you've
Those
asked
that have
questions.
returned, similar to you, maybe not as strong, mentioned something about height, falling, things seeming to be far larger than they should. Beings of, well, let me be blunt, giants.
Giants.
But you know how the mind can get twisted when we're dealing with these things.
You can bring statues to life, and you expect us to be surprised by giants.
I was going to say, giants aren't the strangest thing I've seen in the last week.
Very well then. Should be no task at all for you.
Why haven't they used them if they're so important to you?
They don't know how.
And so they're holding them ransom over your head?
You could say they are, well, trying to control from far away. A ransom of sorts, certainly. More an ancient debt not repaid.
Right.
Eric looks at the two people with him, sort of shrugs.
Look, I assumed you were stronger, but if not, then this. You, he points towards Georgie, you have a certain talent with plants. Do you think you might be able to repair the damage that the thief has done? Make the plant whole, and then I can also consider our debt to be repaid.
I can try, but not myself. Not by myself, not this time.
I could help. Although I am curious about giants. If they really are living in the city. Something I feel like we should know about.
Yes. I, for my part, would like to repay my debt, but I am not bringing anybody into it who isn't willing to come along.
Is it a debt if it's already stolen from its land? He tasks us to be a thieves' lackey.
He tasked us to recover something stolen.
Right, but he has stolen the
Nothing.
plant himself from where it came from.
He looks at you. You speak as if you hold secrets behind your own tongue. What is it you're saying?
I know where you gotten the plant, or at least how.
Where
And it was not as
What plant do you speak of? There are many
the one
plants
that
here.
needs repair. And those who I have not spoken to yet.
Child, child, those plants have been here for far longer than I. I don't believe a new seed has been planted in many years. Our caretakers are quite good at their jobs.
Well, if your family is tasked with the care of this, you would have records of whence this plant came to be.
Of course. We have many plants that have come from far and wide.
I would see these records, and then maybe we can figure out.
And
if it
who
can be
are
repaired.
you to come in requesting to see my records? I'm afraid that is quite asinine. No. I don't think you've
Well-
deserved that right.
You can't speak to the plants, so alright.
Speak to the plants, indeed. Indeed. Do you go to the butchers and request to see the records of all of the meat that they require as well? Do you go to...
Only of certain cuts, but if you're going for this specific plant and where it came from, and you said it was decades ago, do you want it whole or you want to keep it as a 2 out of 3?
If you say you can speak to plants, why not have them tell you themselves what needs to happen? What would old paper, have to do to help you?
Paper would write down in our language from whence it came. Not necessarily in the terms of the plant. They were here before us, and they will continue to be here after us, regardless of borders, city names, streets.
So you declare my family as thieves and expect me to then show you all of the records of our business?
Not all of them, of the one you seek.
I'm gonna need you to convince. If you don't mind.
Alright. Let's see. Oh, Jesus. I didn't think this through. Alright. So, I mean, I'm not actively using green speech, but can I use it as a whole? Like,
Mhm.
Alright. Can I use my ambition?
Sure.
And actually, you know what? I'm gonna use my opportunist one instead. And my gosh, these freaking cards need to stop popping up in front of the one I want to see. Alright, you know what? I'll use green speech, opportunist, and ambition. Because if he wants her help, it'll be on her terms.
Okay.
Alright.
Hey,
Okay.
we did it.
Yeah.
Look at all these great successes tonight.
He
Nice.
goes to his desk and pulls a key out of his pocket, unlocks a drawer, and begins to rifle through. This is the Lycani Lily. That would have been long ago. Let's see. What information is it that you need? Where it came from?
Yes.
He pulls out a very old piece of parchment. It shows to be like ship inventory, probably from about 150 years ago. It definitely shows it came from somewhere, but it, again, outside of the city, it's kind of vague. Seems to be if we were to relate that you're in London now, somewhere in South America, off the eastern coast, one of the part of the rainforest down there. There's a port that it shipped out of. It was not the only plant. It seems like they had some banana trees, a variety of other flowers. It seems it was kind of an expedition to collect different kind of plants, probably shows records of local animals that they might have collected as well.
Alright.
But yeah, it definitely at least... It's City of Mist is always weird when it comes to outside the city, because technically it's very vague, but I think you would be able to figure out like the climate and all that. He places it on the table. We were explorers. We captured all types of plants. Stealing a plant, unlike your friend here, seems... Well, you do know how most crops got started. It wasn't that seeds magically flew through the air, no. They were taken from place to place, planted in the ground, and allowed to grow. That is how plants function, spread, expand. But this is the only information we have beyond caring for it, which clearly we've been doing quite well if it's been able to survive for so long.
Alright. Let me speak with my cohorts about what we can do collectively.
Very well, but don't take much time.
Try not to. Alright, when she turned around, she rolled her eyes so hard they went around the world twice and came back. Alright. So, this plant is in a similar kind of growing atmosphere environment that it was taken from. Unfortunately, I just don't know if a third bloom will happen outside of the parent plant from which they've taken it from. We can try, but from what it's told me, it's a pretty low chance. Do you guys want to try that course of action, or shall we go forth and slay giants? Or befriend them, whatever.
To be clear, there was no slaying involved in what he asked us to do, only to bring back his belongings.
Yes.
Okay.
To add to
Well,
that,
just in case, we must.
I would like to help them regrow the flower, regardless of whether or not we do this other job, because having more of those can't be a bad thing.
Alright.
I was going to say, if there's no reason to not make the attempt, you should make the attempt, although I can't really do anything to assist in that regard.
I cannot speak to plants, but I have a fair bit of skill in growing them.
Right. You, looking at Eric, you can be in charge of moral support. Let's... And then I look over at Blanche. Let's go give it a go. Let's see what we can do.
Can I talk to the guy?
You can try.
He sucks. No, I'm just kidding.
You just
Oh, no,
had
I-
a 19-year-old girl come in and tell him his stuff, and now there's a 20-something coming in.
Oh no, I'm not. I actually so I wanna go over to talk to him. For what it's worth, regardless of what my companions choose to do or why, I want to help you regrow your flower.
Very well.
More of this lily is not a bad thing, in my summation. I can't see any reason why it would be negative. Only good, in case it's needed again. Better to have 3 or more blooms than 2.
I agree.
I would, as this would be an additional task on top of anything else we may end up doing, would like to know if perhaps I could work with you on helping to catalog things I should have in my possession. I have found that plants often come into play with some of the things that I can do, but I'm still learning. Your family may have much more knowledge when it comes to things that have special properties, so to speak, that I might be able to take care of and grow on my own.
He looks at you for a moment. Here, how about this? Have your friends do whatever they can to repair the flower. I'd be more than happy to send one of my caretakers to your gardens. I assume you have something you're growing. They are the best at
I
caring
do,
for
but
any flower, but I'm afraid I
Understand,
cannot.
I'm not interested in a worker. That's all things I can handle on my own. I'm interested in knowledge, the academic approach to it, as it were.
I'm quite sorry, but to be blunt, I don't know who the hell you are. Why you'd think I would trust you with any of the knowledge that I have or my family has, I'm not quite sure.
You're willing to trust me to repair one of your most precious.
Trust you?
and
No,
difficult...
I trust the one that spoke to the plant. You're here, I'm not sure what you do, and the thief's here to right his wrong. I don't trust any of you. I just have specific requirements that need to be done. You can either do them or not, and I will have other repercussions. But don't assume that just because you were able to control one of my seekers, that you have the right to come and begin to make demands of me.
No, I never made a demand. I made an offer and a request.
And I have told you what needs to be done. If you would like help with your plants and plucking weeds, I would be more than happy to send one of my workers, but if that's not good enough for you, then I'm not sure what else I have to offer.
You're not terribly bright, are you?
Is that all?
No. Good luck with your giants.
Very well.
And she will turn and leave the room.
So what are the rest of you doing?
Well, okay. I guess I know what I'm doing.
I'm gonna go have a chat with this here flower.
Suppose that's that on my end. Yeah.
Okay.
I will leave.
Do you walk out with Blanche?
Yeah.
Okay. And are you guys walking out of the gardens or just out of the observatory?
I'm gonna walk the gardens for a minute or two. I want to go by where the lily was, but mostly just to see how bad a shape it's really in.
Okay. Yeah, as you pass by, it doesn't look unhealthy. It just has a clear missing bulb from the edge of a stem. You don't notice any discoloration to the leaves. It doesn't appear to, be drooping or anything. It just looks a bit more bare.
I tried to do the best I could with without damaging it too much, but I needed what I needed.
It could have been worse.
Right. Can I ask it if it came as is, or if there were more or less.
Okay, so you want to investigate again with the plant?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and do that.
Alright. So let's do Queen's Speech. Oh my god, get out of here, card. I guess, can I do opportunist alluring? Actually, no, I'll just do ambition again. Because
Okay.
she wants to know more about this plan anyway. Oh! That sucks.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yikes.
So that's a thing.
It's a replay.
So you were
Because of
going
the
to
plant.
ask it
The
questions.
plant kills itself.
Ding!
You notice that when you try to speak to it, it's just screaming. Just screaming. Something near it is frightening it, and like a child scared of the boogeyman, it is just screaming.
Oh boy.
It's Eric. Eric is such an asshole.
Oh my god! Is there anything around it that's different than when it came by earlier, or is
Just
it literally
the
just...
companions you have near you.
Alright, we're gonna do a little science experimentation. Eric, can you back up 10 feet?
Sure. And he does.
You hear it just start to whimper.
Oh my god.
5 more
I'm the
feet!
worst
Just
fucking person.
5 more feet!
I back up further.
As you're backing up, you notice one of the caretakers seem to be drawn to this presence. She walks in and kind of gives Georgie and Blanchett are still in there kind of a stink eye. Goes to kind of push you back away from it. And goes up to the plant and very gently grabs one of the bulbs and kind of leans in and gives it a gentle little kiss, and goes to the other one, kind of stands up as high as she can, does the same, and turns around with her arms crossed and gives you this look of, you need to leave.
Right, we could tell your boss that we tried to fix your friend, but you wouldn't let us.
You fix. You're frightened.
He did. He's back there now.
She like grabs her,
But I
her
need to
spade.
speak to it.
He's the one that hurt this child. Hmm?
Eric, you might wanna back up a little bit more.
Okay.
As you
know
back
what?
up, you feel a solid thud, and you kind of turn around. There's another one back behind you. A man, he's got long, kind of bushy beard, standing there with like a trowel. Kind of like just hits into your thigh and kind of bumping you forward.
Hey, I was just leaving.
Good.
I'll
Go.
yeah, I'll go.
Faster. Maybe break your other. Jump off the wall again. Maybe you go, we
he
send
ignores-
another seeker after you.
He
You think you
ignores
can
that.
run from that one? Points to like a big bowl looking
Oh
thing.
my god.
Yeah, he ignores all of that shit and just leaves.
You both notice he starts like he's trying to hold in his laughter and eventually just can't. He's just kind of belly laughing as he watches Eric kind of skirt away. The woman puts her spade away and kind of reaches up to grab your hand, Georgie. We have done all we can for this poor child, but I'm afraid if they do not fall on their own, they cannot rise up again. You think you can You can help. I can feel. She like starts kind of rubbing your thumb strangely. Yes, you have. You have the green strength within you. Do what you need to do.
Thank you.
Make the child whole.
I'll try. Alright. So, should I try again with the investigate, or?
Are you trying to talk to it, or are you just gonna try to fix it? What are you thinking?
I guess maybe both. Like, did it tell me what it needed last
I mean,
time?
it needs to regrow. You know the general like soil and all of that, but
Okay.
I don't know. That's kind of what you do is you make plants grow, right?
I can help you
Yeah.
if you
All
want.
right. All right.
What would
So-
what would Blanche be able to do to help? So you can spend help just like you would spend any other juice. So this could be a story tag, like providing advice.
Well, Blanche is kind of brought a whole new life to the gardens at her house. Like, they were always nice, but now
Mhm.
they're like thriving in a big way.
Okay.
So it's not like she has no experience growing plants magically. So my assumption would be that she would kind of be using her magic to help channel Georgie's.
To kind of scale up the effect of what she's doing.
Yeah,
Okay.
scale it up and make it a little bit more precise so that she's not like suddenly causing the entire like area around them to go ballistic. But
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna
And
have
I have a help
you.
point I can spend.
I'm gonna have you for this one. I'm gonna say this is take the risk, and then you
Okay.
can go ahead and for Georgie take the risk, and you can add any power tags you want, and then you'll add another bonus 1 for Blanche's help. Basically, just the risk is you're trying to grow a plant you've never grown before.
A magic plant. All right. So I could do 3 power tags and a 4th one.
Yep.
So 4 tags.
So it'd be 3 of your power tags and then a bonus 1 for her help.
Okay. How do I do the bonus one? Do I just?
You on
Like-
the top where it actually has the numbers, you can just do a plus, like on the arrows,
Ah.
just a +1.
Gotcha. All right. And you said it is a take a risk.
Yep.
Cool.
Oh yeah. So describe what we see.
All right. Georgie doesn't really know what she's doing, but like kind of instinctively, she presses like her hands flat to the soil on either side of the plant, and she lets it kind of tell her what it needs to recover, and she would just like pour her energies towards what it needs, like as much as she can. Hopefully including kind of like a bubble to keep it healthy.
Okay, so kind of
Or a
like a
little bit more
protective layer.
Yeah, like a little keep it robust.
Mm-hmm.
So it, should anything harm it naturally or unnaturally, it won't be as devastating.
Mm-hmm.
She could feel the roots kind of like expanding in their network, crisscrossing in the dirt. And though normally it would take time, with Blanche's help, a little bud does start to grow. Not where the old one was, but next to it.
Mm.
And it won't blossom now, but it will, during its natural kind of like life cycle, so to
Mhm.
speak. but hopefully that should, yeah, that should do it.
So as kind of stand there and watch this small bud begin to grow, you hear a small gasp, and you hear the other bulbs just briefly kind of welcome, sister. Thank you, stranger. The woman comes over after you're done, kind of grabs your hand. You have great power within you. You could do wonderful work here. Would you want to come and work with us?
No.
She looks at you.
No, your boss is a dick.
No,
Oh.
I'm not meant for this work. Not here, at least.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
You've...
Nice meeting you, but, this isn't my place.
Oh, I see. I appreciate what you have done, though. I welcome you to come and visit the gardens as often as you wish. I'll make sure to tell them at the front to cover your fee.
She nods. I'm pretty sure at this point, this is probably kind of the expanse of what she's been able to do with growing things, at least supernatural plants. So she's kind of like out of breath. Like, hot damn. She nods, thanks the lady, and starts to slowly kind of like get back up on her feet.
And then
Well.
do both of you... Go ahead.
It's like, she nods at Blanche like, good job. That was some kind of bonding experience we kind of had.
Oh, are you talking to me? I'm sorry. I was.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that for a second. I'm trying to catch up on the cat. It was certainly interesting. I'm impressed.
As am
You're
I.
certainly one of the more capable members of this motley crew I've met so far.
A chew.
Oh, negative allergies!
Random allergy man strikes again.
So as we...
Yeah.
Sorry, was there anything else you want to do?
No. I guess...
No,
Yeah.
you know what? I'll leave it for later. Never mind. I had a thought, but I can wait.
As we see the three of them begin to exit out and Friday falls, we kind of zoom out away from the gardens, seeing that once you get outside of the gardens itself, it doesn't actually seem as large as it does within. Fly over the slums, you hear the chaos in there, you go towards the burning of the pit, and you exit out of the wide mist, and we'll end the session tonight with the repaying of a stolen flower, a letter to rejoin the crew, and a picture of a dark man. And when we come back next week, you guys will decide, I guess, what intrigues you most. And also in the back of Mike's mind, he might remember that come Sunday, there was a certain pawn shop he was supposed to return to. Whether that happens or not, that'll be up to him, but that's also on the table. But yeah, I think we'll wrap it up now since we're going over a little bit of time. I think it was great to be able to hear a little bit more about our characters kind of on their own, what they're up to, and I think now we have some ideas of some things that you can all go do together, while still having a few things to do on your own. So with that, we will wrap up the video. Thank you to anybody that might be watching on YouTube. If you are all interested in joining this or any other crazy game, make sure to check out the Discord link. And if you want to play it, well, there is still that free starter set. So make sure to head over to Son of Oak and download the starter set. Check it out now. They should actually be coming out with some newer books and such pretty soon. So keep an eye out for that. Thank you all for playing tonight. Sorry we did go a little bit later than normal tonight, but I think it was good to get through everything. And we will see you all next week.
Good night.
Take care.
Night.
Bye.